Tonight, for the first time, it takes a Game 3 to decide the National Lacrosse League champion. And the home team, Saskatchewan Rush, they're chasing their third title in 4 years, welcoming on in a Rochester Knighthawks team who want to return to the top of the NL Mountain for the first time since their three-peat in 2014. Only one team will lift the NLL Cup, Saskatchewan. Rochester, Game 3 starts now. We welcome you to Saskatoon, outside the Sasktel Center, where the home team fans are fired up and ready for a clinching game. 2018 National Lacrosse League Championship, third and final game. Hi, everybody. Alongside Brian Shanahan, I am Jay Alter, and this is what it's all about. Game 3, winner wins the title. And Shanny, it's fitting. It's the two teams that have dominated this decade.
Yeah, there's 16 players on the Rush have won championships, 10 players on Rochester, and of the other players, many of them have played in big games, NCAA, Man Cup, Minto Cups, but what we know for sure is not one player on the floor has ever played in a Game 3 of the NLL Championship.
They get to tonight after Games 1 and 2 dominated by the home teams. The road teams really struggled, and the numbers support it. And Shanny, we'll start with the Rush. People thought they'd lock it up in Rochester. Not the case a week ago.
And why wouldn't you? They dominated so much, but you could see 16 goals down to 8. Their shots on goals were down. Face-offs were actually poor in both games, and so was power plays, but you can kind of throw out this 1 for 7. There was a lot of late penalties that I don't think they really cared about at the time. Rochester, on the other hand, 9 goals up to 13. The shots went up. Face-offs again dominant. Power play not so good, but really the key is they were outshot by 20 in the first game, out loose ball by 25, and Rochester turned that around.
And in Game 2, the Knighthawks, boosted by their goalkeeper, Matt Vince, turned back the clock. He's already considered to be one of the best goalies in NLL history, and he showed why in Game 2.
Yeah, coming into the series, we said he's going to have to be a key guy if they're to win this. We knew he's a great veteran with 3 championships, 47 saves on 55 shots last week, and many times he bailed out his team. Very early in the game, that could have gone either way. They were down 2-0, but he made the big saves, gave his team a chance to settle and come back. Without a doubt, he was the hero of that game.
Everybody said coming into this matchup, Vince definitely has the advantage between the two goalkeepers. In Game 1, Evan Kirk proved that he belonged in this conversation. A great Game 1. In Game 2, he really struggled to keep the Rush in it.
Yeah, I thought Kirk answered a lot of questions in Game 1. He made a lot of momentum changing saves. In Game 2, I thought where he faltered a bit, he wasn't bad, but in the fourth quarter, when Rochester needed to make the comeback, needed to go on a run, he didn't make the big saves when they needed it, and that was the difference in the game.
As we continue to set the table here for a Game 3 in the NLL Finals, Shanny, I'll turn to you. Final thoughts for these two teams.
Well, you know what? I don't think we expected a series that might go 3 games. I don't think we thought one team would dominate one and the other team would dominate Game 2. We expected close games. Maybe with the adjustments the coaches have made, we're going to get that close game today. I would love to see overtime or at least a very close game.
And it is a packed house here in the Sasktel Center. We are nearly there. Game 3, the deciding game between the Rush and the Knighthawks. And let's take it to our national anthem.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons' command. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for
The national anthems set the scene, and they provide a vocal warm-up for the home fans here as the Saskatchewan Rush faithful are ready for Game 3. A terrific atmosphere. The glow sticks are out as the Rush push for a third title in 4 years. Rochester looking to win their first NLL championship since 2014 when they completed that three-peat. Shanny, it's the two teams that have defined the decade in this sport. One game to decide who will be the 2018 champion.
Yeah, you know, and it's great the way these teams are both so well coached, made adjustments. We saw Mike Hazen, after a lot of people thought it was going to go 2 straight after that 16-9 loss. He made the adjustments, 13-8 victory. Derek Keenan, I'm sure, has made some adjustments. This can be a great game.
And Rochester in that 13-8 Game 2 win, led by Josh Courier, a 4-goal, 2-assist performance. The Knighthawks, with their backs against the wall, got one of their best performances of the entire season.
Yeah, they sure did. And as we said in the opening, goaltending is a key. We know what Matt Vince can do. He's won 3 championships, and he was great last week. Can he do it again? Evan Kirk, he's under the gun. He played great a couple weeks ago. He's not the reason they lost last week, but he didn't, as we said in the opening, make the big saves late in the game when they were trying to make that comeback.
We mentioned Josh Courier's 4-goal, 2-assist performance. Darren Dupont down on the floor with Courier.
Thanks, Jay. Josh, what was so key in Game 2 that you need to make sure you bring here to the championship Game 3?
We just played it as a team. Everyone was playing for each other. We just need to do that again.
Can hear how loud this building gets and hostile the environment you're going to play in. How do you counteract that tonight?
Yeah, it's loud. Everyone enjoys it, though. We just embrace it. We have a lot of fun with it.
Josh, thank you. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Jay, Shanny?
And thank you, Darren. These fans are ready. Game 3 just seconds away. Evan Kirk did not get it done in Game 2. Now in front of his home fans, trying to keep the NLL Cup in Saskatchewan. Matt Vince coming off another historic performance in what has been a phenomenal career. He looks to add to that resume tonight. Let's check in with Darren.
Robert, you're here at home in Game 3. What needs to be better than it was a week ago?
Yeah, we got to do everything better. We just got to execute our game plan and come out and play a hard game. Hopefully our best of the year, and we're going to come up with a win.
At this time, how much is last year on your mind, the way it ended and a chance to make things right tonight?
Not at all. It's a whole new game, and we're gonna act like it.
Appreciate that's all the best.
Yeah.
Robert Church, a 4-goal performance in Game 1. He scored the first goal in Game 2, but was held scoreless since then. As all eyes head to the face-off X, Jake Withers for Rochester in purple. It is Jeremy Thompson for Saskatchewan in neon green.
And this face-off dot has been dominated by Jake Withers. Mike Messenger took 5 face-offs last week for Saskatchewan, was 3 out of 5. And you got to wonder if he's going to spell off Jeremy Thompson a little bit more today, because that is a factor in these games. It definitely was last week.
Withers dominated, you said, at 16 of 22 in game 2, 20 of 28 in game 1. Our officials tonight: Chris Williams, Mark Gardanio, Matt Robinson, same crew as game 2. Third and final game of this 2018 NLL Finals here in Saskatchewan. Withers and Thompson for the first face-off.
And both game 1 and 2, Saskatchewan has scored early.
We are underway. Thompson immediately got it, hit, and Rochester's got it back. And they get their first possession as we settle in here in Saskatoon. Here's Cody Jamieson. He lost the handle. Jamieson, 2 goals, 2 assists a week ago. Known as a clutch player throughout his career, not just his professional one. Eric Fennell, the rookie, lost the handle. So both teams forcing early turnovers in the first minute.
Rubish forced the first turnover, and in that last play, Fennell just had no help. A couple of his guys had gone to the bench to get defense. He was looking for somewhere to put that ball. No time, no space.
First real possession of the game for Saskatchewan as they set it up. 10 seconds left on the timer. Here's McIntosh, has a step, drives in, saved by Matt Vince.
Oh. A great pick by the Rush to give McIntosh that chance. And another time, Vince has come up big.
Matt Vince picking up where he left off a week ago. 47 saves. He had 48 saves in this building in game 1. So he's nearing 100 in the series. Can you believe that, Shanny? Feed inside. Vince tested again, and again he goes low to make the stop.
Yeah, I dare say this is the only time a goalie has faced 100 shots in the NLL championships. Of course, this is the only time we've gone to 3 games.
A dramatic third game. Scoreless in the first minute and a half. Rochester got a look, no good. They went to Courier at 4 goals a week ago. Not even close to the cage, and the Rush go back onto attack. A Saskatchewan team 14-4 in the regular season. Clearly the best team in the regular season, but that doesn't matter. You have to prove it tonight at home to be crowned NLL champions. Risky pass, it's intercepted. Graham Hossack's got it. A terrific performance, 2 caused turnovers, 2 goals last week. And he gets his first caused turnover of the game and sets up the offense.
Sloppy pass by Mark Matthews, and Hossack just made one of his easier interceptions.
Here's Cody Jamieson, feeds it off, a shot driven low, and it's saved by Evan Kirk. Reset the shot clock on the rebound. Jamieson fires up again, it's saved.
Now those are the 2 best opportunities for Rochester so far.
Jamieson getting a lot of the looks early, no surprise. The veteran who won 3 cups already with his Rochester team from 2012 to 2014. Knighthawks lose the handle again.
Well, Jamieson's probably already hating Kyle Rubish. Stole the ball from him earlier in the game, and that time got the stick in the way of the pass.
Rubish has been all over him. Neither team has been able to break the deadlock here in the first quarter early. Driving right at the cage. Rebound goes to the Rush.
Bad angle shot, but created a nice reset for the Rush to get that ball back.
Here's Matt Dinsdale. Great outside shooter for the Rush. Cross floor pass. Swim dodge unsuccessful. Going low, Matt Vince there again. Goalies have been the story throughout the series, and so far in the first quarter, that is holding form. Courier frees his hands. Somehow.
That's a pretty nice save.
Yeah, Kirk went low, split the legs wide open, and somehow kept it out.
Yeah, that looked like it might squeeze through the 5-hole, and Kirk made sure it didn't.
Yet, of course, Courier's got that hot hand. 4 goals, 2 assists a week ago to keep the Knighthawks alive. Robert Church, really good look. Vince got it from outside, right back to the Rush on the rebound though. Here's Ryan Keenan, put on the stop, point blank range, right into the chest of Matt Vince. Knighthawks can run in transition now.
Nice play by Keenan, one-on-one on Campbell. Beats him cleanly, but nobody's been able to beat Vince so far.
Same goes for Evan Kirk. As we near 5 minutes of scoreless play to open up this Game 3 first quarter. Rush, so dangerous in transition like they've showed all season. Rochester did a great job getting out there, Shanny.
Yeah, and that's the 3rd time that Jamison has lost the ball near Kyle Rubish. And that time, it was just a misplay by Jamison.
Right back to Robert Church, bouncer this time over the cage of Matt Vince. Did not hit the cage, so the shot clock won't be reset. Rochester takes over on possession. Shanny, early impressions?
Well, the teams are feeling each other out, but great play by Matt Vince, and Kirk's been pretty good too.
We're just getting started. Stay with us.
Bum, 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 bum.
Think you've got what it takes to compete with Curtis Dixon, to shut down Lyle Thompson, and to hang with Tom Schreiber? Show your stuff in front of GMs, coaches, and scouts at the 2018 National Lacrosse League Combine in Dallas, Texas on July 8th. This could be your chance to play in the big leagues.
Back here in Saskatoon, let's check in with Darren Dupont on the floor. Darren.
Hey Jay, it's loud down here for sure. Now it's times throughout the night you might not see me because they've got the glow sticks going around the crowd. They're expecting 14,000 in the building tonight for Game 3. Why not? Just a couple of lineup changes before we go. Nothing for the Knighthawks. They're going with the same lineup all 3 games. The Rush making 1 swap. Dan Dawson, who was in the lineup a week ago in Game 2, is not in the lineup. Curtis Knight draws back in, so the Rush going with the lineup that was victorious in Game 1, guys.
Thanks, Darren. You're our eyes and ears in between the benches tonight. He mentioned the crowd, Shanny. Not only are we playing the first Game 3 in the NLL championship, we do it in front of this great crowd.
Oh yes, and this place will roar when they score.
We have yet to get a goal through more than 5 minutes played. Knotted at 0, swatted away. Kyle Jackson trying to get the pass. Brett Mitski there for the Rush. Continues to absolutely be all over Jackson. Only 5 seconds to shoot. Knighthawks have to hurry. Vitarelli drives right at Kirk. Simple save.
Well, the Knighthawks have to make sure they get their defense on the floor late in the shot clock, and Saskatchewan takes advantage of that. They'll double team the ball, throw extra bodies. Shots on net 6-4 for the Rush.
Feed in front, not there from Robert Church. Rebound. And that went off the pipe. It'll stay with the Rush.
Man, that was Shatler, who had a great game last week, 7 points. And that one was just a fortunate bounce that landed in his stick, hits the pipe.
Rush reload on this attack. The offense has been so stout all year for Saskatchewan, but they've been unable to beat Matt Vince so far tonight.
Now, we said it last week, there's got to be times when
Terrence winds up, denied by Evan Kirk.
There's got to be times when Vince starts getting in the heads of the offense. If they go too long without being able to score, and especially if the Knighthawks are able to score, you got to think they got to start second-guessing themselves.
Errant pass there. Mark Matthews claims it. Matthews, a veteran you can turn to, the 2015 Finals MVP, trying to set something up inside. McIntosh had a good look, but sent it wide. Shanny, some Game 3 nerves or just good goaltending?
I think it's just good goaltending so far.
Here's Joe Resetero. It's a terrific regular season, 100 points for the first time in his career. Circled to Jamieson, right into the chest of Evan Kirk. These goalies are standing on their head in this first quarter.
Yeah, Kirk made that look easy, and you know, to be honest, I don't think Jamieson had a corner pegged on that shot, but Kirk's still doing the job.
Both goalies doing the job as we are midway through this first quarter, still scoreless. McIntosh inside, off the pipe, the rebound, Curtis Knight, he sends it wide too. Battle for the loose ball now, scooped up, one-on-one, an opportunity for the Knighthawks, lowering the shoulder, bouncing, no good.
Good defensive play by Ryan Keenan. It's always great, coaches love it when your offensive guys come back and they're not just going through the motions defensively. That's a great effort by Keenan to put the hard bump on Withers.
Jake Withers with a great look there for the Knighthawks, denied by Keenan. Coach's son getting dirty on the defensive end of the floor. 8 to shoot. Matt Vince continues to do Matt Vince things in this Game 3 final.
And when the ball's got by him, the post has been on his side.
Sometimes you need a little luck in a championship game. Here's Austin Shanks trying to free his hands up. Double team comes, passes out of it. Rush, ferocious defensively. A ton of pressure, somehow scoops the Shanks. He sent it over the cage.
Well, that almost turned, well, it did turn into a great scoring chance. Shanks wasn't able to get it down. And that was after some great defense by the Rush. That was a good bounce for Rochester.
Comfortable save on the other end of the floor by Matt Vince. Rebound goes to the Rush. Here's Dinsdale, passes off, tic-tac-toe passing. It's no good. Just went wide as we are still scoreless. 5:40 to play in this first quarter. Who is going to break the deadlock in this critical deciding Game 3 of the 2018 NL Finals? Eric Fennell lowering his shoulder, muscling his way in, turning, shoots, can't score! Evan Kirk again!
Possibly Kirk's best save so far. Fennell doing a great job muscling his way to the net.
Kyle Jackson looking inside for Courier. Pass never got to him, and Kirk can start this Rush attack. Under 5 minutes to play in this first quarter. Still scoreless, Shanny. Who would have thought it'd take more than 10 minutes in game number 3 to get our first goal?
And not the way the first 2 games went. Took 50 seconds last week for the first goal.
Dinsdale throws it back. Church off the pipe again.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, has the iron been so kind for Matt Vince and this Rochester team? McIntosh can't come up with it. Bounces out to Dinsdale with a fresh shot clock. McIntosh knocked out by Lord. Rush with 10 to shoot. Go low. It's wide again. Here come the Knighthawks in transition. Again, they go low, met by Evan Kirk. Both teams playing very tight on the offensive end.
Yeah, I don't think it was a wise decision by Gillies to take that early shot from that far out.
McIntosh trying to unlock this Rochester defense, and Matt Vince almost got one there, a really good look, but sent it over the cage. Right back to McIntosh. 1 second on the timer. He's in the crease, and we have another stoppage in play. 3:28 remaining in this first quarter. We are scoreless in Game 3 of the 2018 NLL Finals. We'll step aside. A lot more lacrosse as one team will lift the NLL Cup tonight. Who will it be?
NLL, it's a crazy, intense sport.
Any reason you go to any sporting event, it's in box lacrosse.
When you're out there and you think you're open for a shot and those gaps close in half a second, you get a whole new appreciation for how strong these players are out there.
Never in my life have I walked out to a place sold out, 16,000 fans, where it's loud. There's no other feeling
Knighthawks
like it in the
bench
world.
with head coach Mike Hazen. All right, we're on the Knighthawks bench with head coach Mike Hazen. Mike, scoreless goaltender stealing the show, but are you happy with your start?
Yeah, so far so good. V's playing really well. Great pace in the game. We're trying to weather what they're pushing right now. But yeah, so far so good.
You've said this is just another game, but it's the first ever Game 3 with all the emotion and everything that comes with it. How do you stay focused and kind of shut that out?
We just do our best, to tell you the truth. We just got to focus on the little moments in front of us, loose balls, boxing out little things, and we'll see what happens at the end there.
Appreciate your time, Coach. Good luck.
And Shanny, Mike Hazen knows a thing or two about being in the NLL Finals. This is appearance number 10, and you know what? Overall, he's fared pretty well.
Yeah, he sure has. And and as a player, as a coach, undefeated as a head coach so far, he'd like to keep that going. Very few players or coaches or anyone have been involved in more finals than him. I know of at least one. We'll talk about that later.
That's what we like to call a tease, and Hazen's got to be impressed as a defensive player in his career. His defense playing very well early on this talented Rush team.
Yeah, well, they've won championships because of this defense, so that's no surprise.
It's a veteran defense that, as you said, a lot of it, the core there from that three-peat from 2012 to 2014. Cody Jamieson, another player who was on those teams, just got stripped again. That's his second turnover today. There's just a suffocation from the Rush on the defensive end, but they've yet to turn it into goals. We are still tied at 0, 2:40 to play in the opening quarter. Church, a ton of contact, and it's a turnover. Graham Hossack with a takedown of Robert Church. Can it lead to a goal? No. Too much on that, way over
That
Evan
was a
Kirk's
little bit
cage.
of a stick check on that shot that forced it high.
Messenger lowers his shoulder, throws one on cage, and it's another save by Madvids.
Oh, and Mike Messenger, when he decides he wants to go to the net, he puts his shoulders into the defender. He's very tough to stop.
We've hit 2 minutes remaining in this opening quarter, and not a goal to show for it in Game 3. Winner crowned the National Lacrosse League champion. And the story is defense, defense, defense.
A great effort, second effort by Eric Fennell to get that loose ball, and another possession for his team.
A great spin, feed to the doorstep, behind the back, no good. In the crease, and it's going to the Rush.
The shots have been a little bit off for Rochester. We saw Shanks earlier shoot just over the net. Courier that time behind the back over the net.
The Rush go to Church again. 4 goals in Game 1, only 1 in Game 2. Passes off to Curtis Knight. He was a healthy scratch a week ago. Back in the lineup, looking for Knight in front. The shot clock expires, doesn't matter. Rochester's got it back anyway. And they run up the floor. 62 seconds remaining in this opening quarter. Faked a pass to Courier, took it himself. Austin Shanks, the rookie. Now they get it to Courier, blows by 2 defenders, and scores! Josh Courier has opened the scoring on the road with 44 seconds left in this first quarter. Rochester's got a goal.
Courier had a great game last week, 4 goals, 2 assists. Nice fake up high, drives the net, that last little dive to improve his angle. Watch this, and then bounces it between the legs that open up of Kirk. Great goal. I thought for a while we might be going a whole quarter without a goal. But Rochester opens the scoring for the first time in this championship series.
Josh Courier, the hot hand. 7th goal of the playoffs after a 4-goal performance last week. Jake Withers wins the faceoff for the Knighthawks. There's an 11-second separation between that shot clock and the first quarter clock. Rochester would love to add another after this game was scoreless for more than 14 minutes. Fennell didn't get a clean look.
Watch for the goalie to come out. Oh,
he gets it right back. Fennell puts it on. No goal. Love the hustle from Eric Fennell, though.
Eric Fennell has had a great first quarter getting the ball back for his team. Kirk's come out, so we're going to have a 6-on-5.
It's a 6-on-5 for the Rush to end this first quarter. 4 seconds left. McIntosh whizzes it wide, and that will do it. 15 minutes in the book, Shanny, and Rochester's got a 1-0 lead on the road in Game 3.
Well, great goaltending by Vince, and I thought both defenses played great, but Rochester has got to be a lot happier after that quarter, especially with the way things went in this rink 2 weeks ago.
Josh Courier's goal's the difference. We'll be back after this.
Last season, we launched NLL TV. It marked the first time that you could catch the fastest game on 2 feet from anywhere.
Dumped it backhand, your scores! Wow!
This season, it's back and better than ever. Just pick your package and you're good to go.
Don't get caught in the dark. Watch the National Lacrosse League live from your laptop, tablet, cell phone, and more. Get all the action, all the time.
Oh, I think Eric Fennell has had a great first quarter, plenty of second efforts. And he got an assist on that goal by Courier, but just after that, he steals the ball and gets another nice scoring chance. And I think even if that ball had gone in, there's no question Fennell was in the crease by that time. Here from a different angle, great effort. Oh, that looked like it went over the line, but Fennell was on the crease for sure. But what a great quarter he's had.
And Shanny, in a Game 3 like this, when these two teams are so close in competition levels, it's hustle plays like that that can separate you and win you a championship.
Yeah, and you know, that's one of the things Coach Keenan said to us this morning, was he didn't think they competed hard enough last week. He thinks they might have got ahead of themselves, started thinking about, you know, hoisting the trophy instead of the work that had to be done. Although I would say so far in this game, both teams are giving great efforts. You know, Matt Vince and his goalpost is the reason that Saskatchewan doesn't have 4 goals now.
2 or 3 went off the pipe to help Matt Vince keep that shutout in the first 15 minutes. There's no question that Mike Hazen and this Rochester team, they didn't have a regular season like they would have wanted. They were 10-8. They lost 6 in a row at one point, headed into February. Things seemed totally out of sorts, but they got their season together. They made it all the way to the finals. They're matched up against a team that ran through the regular season, 9-0 in the West with the Rush. But you know what? Saskatchewan, you can throw the regular seasons out of the window. You got to prove it at home in this game.
And even if you want to talk about the regular season, Knighthawks won both games against this team. But Knighthawks got hot at the right time.
Great feed and a goal! Saskatchewan has us tied at 1. Jeff Shattler.
Last week we saw Shattler score a beautiful goal on a Matthews feed. This time it's a Keenan pass that's just as pretty. Matthews to Keenan, and watch this backhand flip to Shattler. That's a nice goal.
Vince got a piece of it, did not matter. He had 3 goals last week in Rochester, and the veteran picks up where he left off.
And that's where these guys wanted to start. And you know what? Jeremy Thompson won his first face-off.
The Rush doing a great job to win it back from Withers, using that physicality again.
Yeah, on the last goal, Thompson won the first face-off to give the Rush the first possession. This time, he lost the face-off, but his teammates helped him get the ball back.
McIntosh denied by Hossack. Graham Hossack's been everywhere, Shanny.
Well, the number 4s on both teams have been tremendous. And that's Rubish for the Rush. Hossack for the Knighthawks.
Resetaritz back to Fennell. Hard shot. It's over the cage of Kirk. The Rush can run. Some contact on the pass. Nothing called. Saskatchewan jumps into another attack, denied by Matt Vince.
Yeah, the Rush were hoping for a tripping call on that play against Corbeil. So far, the referees have kept the whistles in their pockets.
Yeah, we've yet to see a penalty in this game 3. Took a deflection. Kirk read it the entire way. Great stop by Evan Kirk on what could have been a tricky bounce. And the Rush back in transition. Feed to Church. Goes low. Denied by Matt Vince again. And here's a quick transition. Luke Magnan. No! Kept out! Somehow, someway, it was one-on-one. Magnan couldn't get the finish.
Yeah, that was a nice save by Kirk. He got a piece of that shot.
Matthews looking for Shattler inside again. Jeff Shattler's got the lone goal for the Rush tonight.
Oh, that's obviously the play they've been looking for. As Shattler goes hard in front of the net, they're throwing it to the area.
Matthews takes it himself this time, stopped by Matt Vince. The outside ones, Matt Vince has read beautifully all series long. It's going to be tough to beat him from deep. Here's Kyle Jackson spinning on McIntosh. Finally passes it away. Jeremy Thompson's got it. The Rush can run. Thompson holding off Jackson, stays with the ball, passes it off. One more pass, and a goal! Tic-tac-toe passing, and Ben McIntosh has put the Rush on top.
And some nice passing, and I'm really surprised because usually Jeremy Thompson in this spot reaches back and takes the shot. Not this time. He gives it to Matthews, who gives it to McIntosh, and a couple of fakes later, McIntosh puts it in. Nice goal. 2 nice goals by the Rush to start the quarter.
And a goal like that takes some patience, Channing.
Yeah, and you know, that was a bad turnover. I think it was Jackson who threw the ball pretty much right into Thompson's stick.
Scott Campbell sandwiched 3 Rush players on him. Somehow he keeps the ball.
Yeah, it's amazing he kept the ball.
Here's Resetaritz. He has been quiet in this series despite 100 points in the regular season, a breakout year. He only had 1 assist even in the win last week. Fennell takes a big hit, stays on his feet, spins around, shoots, denied by Kirk. Long outlet pass, Matthews can't get it.
Oh, despite that 6'5" reach, I thought he was gonna get that. Great job by Kirk.
Feed by Matthews, almost a 3rd goal. Vince makes the stop. Diving across, he lost his helmet, doesn't matter, it stayed out of the net.
Tremendous stop by Vince.
Rochester was looking for a goal on the other end. How many times do we see in this sport some momentum, a great save and a goal on the other end? They didn't get the second half of that, but they do stick with the ball.
And back into the crease went the rush. So Rochester will get that ball back.
Resetarits feed off, no angle. Kirk makes the save. They say Rochester was in the crease, and now we get some extracurriculars after the whistle.
I'm not so sure the referee didn't call the original play on goaltender interference or goaltender contact. We're going to have a number of penalties here. That's Mark Gardonio. Okay. Yeah, that was Corey Vitarelli on a shot that really had no angle, tries to put in the rebound. No, and originally they were just calling a crease play, I believe, but Jamieson comes in.
Cody Jamieson.
I think it's going to be a saw. It's Cody Jamieson giving the fans a drink of water.
And in the penalty box for the Rush, it's Brett Midsky.
Now, when you look at the stats, you're going to see that last goal by McIntosh, and you might forget that it really was a transition goal. Last week, Rochester did a great job of taking the transition away from the Rush. The Rush had 5 transition goals 2 weeks ago, none last week, and they've got one here this week on that McIntosh goal. We're all even here.
Yeah, we're all even. No power play because both teams have a player in the box. McIntosh, who scored the last goal for the Rush, passes it off. Robert Church, hesitation, finally shoots. Long rebound out to Rochester. Here's Jake Withers. Slows it up to get the offensive players onto the floor. Knighthawks scored the first goal right at the end of the first quarter. The Rush came back with 2 at the beginning of this second quarter. Kyle Jackson, that shot deflected before it even reached Kirk. 5 seconds left on the timer. Rush come away with it. And Shanny, safe to say Saskatchewan has definitely stolen the momentum in this second quarter.
Yeah, they've been playing well, you know. 2 quick goals.
Here's Ryan Keenan. And it goes in! Took it right at Matt Vince and scooped it right to the back of the net to put the Rush up 3-1.
And this play fools Vince. Watch Keenan. Watch the hang time on this play as he dives up. And I don't know if I would consider throwing a flag. I think it's good, though. I don't know if I'd waste the flag on that.
Looked good on that replay.
Yeah. And they're not throwing a flag, so I would agree with Mike Hazen. It's not worth wasting it.
After being shut out in the first 15 minutes, the Rush have 3 goals in 5.5 minutes. Let's check in with Derek down on the floor.
Yeah, guys, just looking at Mike Hazen as you're talking about, is he going to throw the flag? He had it out. He had it. It looked like he even gave a couple of pump fakes, too. He waited, saw a second look in the replay, and like you said, the last minute decided that it just wasn't worth it.
We'll step aside. Stick with us. 3-1 Rush.
here on the Rush bench with head coach Derek Keenan. Derek, what changed for you guys that allowed success in the second quarter?
Well, I mean, I thought we had some really good looks in the first. We had a couple pipes, and Bino was, of course, really good. We just finished a little better. Went at him pretty hard in the transition game. Thought we did a pretty good job defensively, too, creating a bit of havoc for him and giving us opportunity out in the open floor. But we got to keep going at him. This is a fast-paced game. The intensity level is extremely high. We got to stay the course and just keep going here.
This is your 13th finals appearance. How does it change for you each time you make it here?
I don't know. It feels good every time, but you got to get the job done or it feels terrible. So we want to get this thing finished here.
Derek, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Well, Darren stole our thunder a bit. 13 finals appearances. There you see the wins as a player, as an assistant coach, as a head coach, and what's going to happen this year. This is a record. Nobody has been in 13 finals as a player, coach, player, assistant coach, and head coach.
I loved that comment right at the end of the interview. It only counts if you win. I don't want to feel the pain that comes with a loss, and he knows both ends of the spectrum.
He does, and it's funny because we said to him this morning, we go, this is your 13th championship, and he goes, really? He hasn't been counting. I bet you can tell how many wins he has, though.
Right. And it absolutely is an NLL record. 13 finals appearances. He got a lead right now, 3-1, as we welcome you back to this second quarter. Long rebound. Rochester will settle play and allow their offense to come out. The offense has struggled so far tonight, Channy. What can they do to try and get to life here?
Oh, they just got to keep playing the defense and get some more shots offensively. But it's very difficult to do when this Rush defense plays as well they have been.
And Evan Kirk has made save after save. That one a long rebound. It allows a scoring chance in transition, and they get it. Chris Corbeil. How about that for a transition goal? The Rush on a 4-0 run in this second quarter surge.
And the second transition goal this quarter. This time it comes from the captain. And these turnovers have cost Rochester. Vince is not happy with it, but that's a good shot. High, hard shot by the captain. And you want to avoid the long runs. The Rush went on a 7-goal run 2 weeks ago. Last week, they never scored more than 2.
Withers wins the faceoff, takes it all the way himself, but did not get the finishing touch. Got a real good look at the cage, too.
Great effort, but another time that they've shot over the net.
Rochester needs to stop the bleeding. It's a 4-0 Rush run.
And what they don't want to do is get so desperate to score a goal that they're turning over the ball in the wrong spots. And 2 turnovers have led directly to transition goals. Referee separating a couple of players, decided not to send them to the penalty box.
Off the wall, stays with Rochester. Here's Austin Shakes. Nobody on the doorstep. Great look and a goal inside the Joe Resetarits. Just what Rochester needed.
Oh, it's a first blatant mistake by the Rush. They left Resetarits wide open. Almost looks like they're turning over the ball. 3 guys up high. Almost looks like Resetarits was actually shocked that he had so much time and space. And he stops the bleeding.
A defensive breakdown leads to the 9th goal of this playoffs for Joe Resetarits. A breakout year, 100 points in the regular season for the first time in his career. It's season number 6, playing his best lacrosse, getting to the 2018 finals. His team trailing by 2.
And he had a very quiet game last week, just 1 assist. I doubt they're overly concerned. You know, when you win the games, they don't really care who scores the goals and who collects the points.
Cody Jamieson looking for Eric Fennell. He lost the handle. The Rush come away with it. It's a 2-on-2 for Saskatchewan. Nobody's there.
Well, I'm surprised Rubish didn't continue that and move the ball to Chris Corbeil. He had a 2-on-1 and he sort of slowed it down.
That certainly goes against the run of play that we've seen so far tonight.
And I think the reason they did is because there's a delayed penalty.
Shot saved by Vince, and now we get that penalty with 7:07 left in the second quarter.
Yeah, it'll be for the bad change. Rochester came off the bench early, I believe, and I think that Rubish just decided, hey, you know what, I'll wait for the extra man to come on the floor. And that's the call.
Goes against Eric Fennell, the rookie, playing with a lot of heart, a lot of hustle tonight. Well, and sometimes they get you into the box.
Yeah, he's actually serving it. He didn't cause that penalty. That was a bad change. And the bad change again was a turnover that was leading to transition. Rochester cheated a little bit and got caught.
In game 1 of this series, Saskatchewan was 1 for 7 on the power play. Had a great look there that rang off the pipe. Stolen away. Magnan's got it. Swim dodges between 2 Saskatchewan players and slows down the play.
They were 1 for 7, but they had 4 late power plays when Billy T. Smith took 8 minutes, and I don't think they were really interested in scoring. That was when the game was already well in hand. So that makes the stats look worse.
Shanks, and it's a shorthanded goal. Austin Shanks off the feed from Kyle Jackson.
And another sloppy play by the Rush leads to another goal and a short-handed goal. And Shanks just sneaks to the back door. Watch here. I don't know if they got caught on the switch or if Mitski and Cornwall got a little bit in each other's way, but nonetheless, Shanks got open, but it was a perfect pass from Jackson.
Boy, is that what Rochester needed. This home crowd that has been raucous since the first faceoff has quieted down. Back-to-back goals for the Knighthawks. That faceoff will lift the spirits of the Rush faithful, and Graham Hosick takes it right back. So a 2-0 scoring run for the Knighthawks. There's still 50 seconds left in this power play. They've already scored 1 shorthanded goal.
You know, Hosick's forced turnovers is just becoming commonplace. He makes it look so easy.
You told us last week, Shanny, he's your defender of the year, and boy, ever since you said it, he's proved you're really smart.
And see, that was a play right there. We saw Jamison tried to make a pass off the backboards. Didn't work that time, but he's caught a few teams this year, you know, turning around and on that play. Almost looks like Saskatchewan has scouted it enough they're ready for it.
Shatler with some trickery. It did not fool Matt Vince. Poked out from behind by Robert Church. Trying to win the ball back for Saskatchewan. They cannot. And they just clear the ball and kill this penalty. We're back to even strength.
Yeah, the 8-second clock was going to go over. They have to get over half within 8 seconds, and Rochester knew that wasn't going to happen, so they effectively iced the ball like a hockey play.
Give and go. Matthews to Church. It was a wide shot. Battle for the ball. Hosick poked it back. Thrown, easily caught by Vince. At 4:40 left in the second quarter, we've got a 1-goal game. Rochester scored the last 2. Looking for more here. Magnan fires right to the chest. A shot and an easy save for Evan Kirk. Bouncer to Shatler, and a score! Jeff Shatler with his second of the night, and the Rush up 5-3.
Well, you know, the veteran Jeff Shatler, when you got to look at the guys on the Rush who have played great in this series, he's got to be near the top of the list, if not at number 1. Second goal of the game. Had a big game last week, and this is just a great hard shot.
A bullet to the back of the net gives the Rush a 2-goal advantage, courtesy the veteran in his 13th season. Knighthawks win the face-off again through Jake Withers.
Shatler's 33 years old now, has won 1 championship with Calgary, and he's been fitting great with this team.
Another great feed. Jackson went into the crease. The passing from Rochester has been outstanding, though. It's led to some good looks, a couple of goals. But the Rush controlling a 2-goal lead. It's 5-3 Saskatchewan in game number 3 of the NLL Finals.
It's what we've all been waiting for.
NLL Productions presents The Box with Ashley Docking and Tyson Geit. A quick hitting who, where, what, when, and why that previews every single matchup in the National Lacrosse League.
Not many teams could sustain an offensive onslaught like that.
They're both shooters and scorers, but these are possession men. Shooting from the outside, low percentage chances.
Check those out. We're all above 500.
The Box. Look for it on NLL TV.
What drives you to find your inner purpose? Play with purpose.
Back here in Saskatoon, game 3 providing drama like we knew it would. Let's head down to, last year. Shanny, so much drama in this building. You want to talk about drama? This was a year ago against Georgia.
Oh my, yeah, this was a crazy play. The Rush pulled their goal, and we had 6-on-6, no goalie for either team. They lost control of the ball with a couple seconds to go. Georgia ties it up, put it in overtime, and Lyle Thompson and Miles Thompson gets the winner, and you don't see any fans jumping here last year. This is something that they want to erase from their memory banks.
In this building a year ago, Georgia winning the championship. It's still been a dynasty for Derek Keenan and this Rush team as they search for 3 NL championships in just 4 years. And when your lone hiccup is losing in the final, it ain't too bad.
The conclusion of this game, we'll find out if that was just a hiccup or if it's over for them.
Rochester certainly threw a good punch at the beginning of this game. The Rush has owned the second quarter, though. A little more than 3 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. Fired on net, it went wide. Shanks double team trying to get the rebound. Now there's 3 neon green jerseys in there, and the Rush come away with it. Boy, they can suffocate you and turn it over so easily. Big part of their success this season.
Well, 3 of the defenders for Rochester never even came off the floor, so they, anticipated that was going to be a turnover.
Give and go, and a goal! Curtis Knight! And the Rush doubling up Rochester 6-3.
Now, Curtis Knight was a healthy scratch last week. Got back in the lineup, and this is just an excellent shot on the give and go. He passes it to the corner, goes straight to the net. Not a great angle, but a great shot. He needed a perfect shot here, and he found one.
And Rush fans last week, a lot of the chatter was, hey, why wasn't Curtis Knight in the game? We need him to make plays like that. A healthy scratch, like you said, Shanny, and he's back on the floor making a big difference.
Yeah, and that's not why they lost the game last week, but there was no doubt in my mind, or I think anybody's, that Curtis Knight was coming back in this week.
Here's Resetarits. He has a goal for the Knighthawks. Much needed offense for Rochester right now. Jamison goes low and a goal right on cue. They turn to the veteran, Cody Jamison. A bouncer finds the back of the net.
You know, and I was just thinking, what a great job the Rush has done on Cody Jamison. He's really done nothing offensively this game. He's turned over the ball a few times because of the smothering defense, and here he turns a nothing play really into a goal because it's pretty much a perfect shot. And that was probably Kirk's first mistake of the game. These last 2 minutes are crucial because, you know, Saskatchewan scores another goal, stretch this lead out. It's a totally different complexion than if Rochester manages to score one more. No doubt the Rush has been the better team this quarter, but the Knighthawks are hanging in there.
Absolutely, only trailing by 2. Jamison looks for another. Ball's loose off the rebound, and the Rush can run in transition. Already 2 transition goals today. The pass, Matthews puts it in! Mark Matthews hung in the air and tucked it home, and the Rush up 7-4.
This is a remarkable goal by Matthews. Again, the transition. He comes off the bench. Watch him float. I'd consider throwing a flag on that one.
Did that foot touch before he tucked it to the back of the net? What's the call, Shanny?
I'd throw a flag. They did. They threw the flag.
Flag is on the floor from Mike Hazen.
Although it's so close that I don't know if they're going to be able to prove that it touched. And we'll get a few looks at this, I'm sure. So much like Keenan's goal, he had some pretty good hang time. Oh, I think that's going to be called back. No, on that angle, I felt that he touched the ground. Watch his foot. He's touching. And the question is the ball in the net yet? I really do think that he touched before that went in. But, you know, the trick is it's got to be definitive proof. And we've heard many times Chris Williams come up, this is the referee here, and say inconclusive. He's got to be sure.
Well, the question is there a good enough angle to prove that the ball was not across the line?
I think the angle from above showed that. You know, that sometimes you have to sort of, in your mind, put a couple of replays together. You watch it from above, it looks like the ball's not across as he's touching. Then you watch the next angle and try to determine where the foot touched.
And as you just said just a few minutes ago, Shanny, this is a crucial goal in this game. This totally changes the momentum if the Rush can go up 3 with just 2 minutes left in this second quarter.
Let's watch.
The super slow-mo.
You know, you don't see the ball. Watch this one here. I thought this one is the one that shows you the ball's not in the net.
I think that is a good angle to prove that the ball had not crossed the white line before Matthews' foot touched the crease.
It's really tough because, you know, basically the referee has to be sure. He can't say, I think that his foot touched. I'm pretty sure it wasn't in on time. He's got to say, oh yeah, there's the proof. And I'm not positive that he's going to convince himself 100%.
The Rush faithful awaiting the call. Here we go.
The shooter is in the crease prior to the ball crossing the goal line. We got no goal.
Well, there you go. That's what we thought. We just weren't sure whether Chris Williams was going to be able to prove it to himself, and that's a big play. Good call by Mike Hazen to throw that flag.
Mike Hazen and this Knighthawks team looking for another NLL championship after He won 3 in a row with them from 2012 to 2014. Currently trailing by 2 goals under 2 minutes to play in this second quarter.
And you know, if Rochester can make it out of this half as close as they are now or closer, you know they're going to want to correct these turnovers that have led to so many transition opportunities. And here we go again.
Great stop by Evan Kirk. This time Matthews goes low, and it's met by Matt Vince. He got almost an identical look, couldn't finish it off. A rushed shot there by Campbell, gets it right back off the deflection. Cross floor pass to Jamison, right back to Shakes. Couldn't handle it cleanly. 10 seconds to shoot. Back to Jamison. Working on Rubish. Gets his hands free. Puts one on net, but it's denied by Evan Kirk. 1 minute remaining in this second quarter. It's a 2-goal lead in Game 3 of the 2018 NLL Finals for Saskatchewan.
Hugely important last minute.
They go to Ryan Keaton, right back onto the far side now. 8 seconds to shoot. Bouncer went wide, 2 seconds on the timer, and it expires. So 34.5 seconds left in this second quarter.
Too much time for Rochester to pull Vince.
Double team comes on Jackson. Passes out of it. Terrence hits the floor.
Oh, they're pulling Vince.
Vince is coming off. 15 seconds to shoot. Vince doesn't get off the floor.
He came back.
10 seconds left for Saskatchewan. At a timeout called by Derek Keenan. Do you think Rochester shot too early there? It wasn't a great look either, Shanny.
Yeah, and I don't know if that was a legitimate pull of Vince or if that was just to try to throw off the defense. Sometimes a team will pull a goalie to try to get that defense to switch into into the zone defense early. But yeah, I agree. I think they shot too early on that shot clock.
He was not even off the floor.
I thought they were going to wait till like 4 seconds, like very late.
Right.
Because then it makes it difficult, and you know the Rush would only have 4 seconds to get the ball up the floor and get a good opportunity. Here they can get a couple of scoring chances. They'll probably save it with their goaltender pull. They're going to wait till there's about 7 or 8 seconds before they bring it towards the net.
Now, this building has been an electric factory tonight. A perfect venue for the first Game 3 in an NLL championship.
I still sense the crowd here is a little bit nervous. You know, I think they want a blowout. They want to relax after what they went through last year, and Rochester's not going to let that happen.
A lot of people didn't think that Saskatchewan would be back for a Game 3, that they would just end it in Rochester. The Knighthawks played tough then, they're playing tough now, and we've got 5 seconds left in this first half. Matthews tees up Church, one more pass, a second left, and denied by Matt Vince. An appropriate way to end the first half hour, a save by Matt Vince. But it's the Rush who take a 2-goal lead into halftime.
Yeah, you know, they sure changed the momentum in that second quarter, but give Rochester credit for hanging in there, getting a big short-handed goal, and a huge call on that flag to turn over that goal.
Well, the offense took a little while, only 1 goal in that first quarter, and 9 goals in that second quarter, 2 of them from Jeff Shatler. Let's go down on the floor. Derek, you're with him.
Yeah, Jeff Shatler down here on the floor. Jeff, the transition game has been good. Again, 6 goals in Game 1. You brought that back in Game 3. How have you been able to be so successful?
We're trying to stick to the process, you know. Our transition game is unreal right now. Our defense is holding them. If we get on off the floor faster than them, we'll win this game.
You have a championship under your belt, but looking for your first year in Saskatchewan. How do you remain composed with only 1 half to go?
Man, it's tough. You know, so at points you just try to think about family. You know, try to think about your team, and you don't want to let them down. So, you know, we're taking it 1 shift at a time, 5-minute segments, and if we keep going with that process, I think we're going to do well tonight.
Jeff, appreciate your time. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you very much.
All right, there's Jeff Shatler of the Saskatchewan Rush, who lead the Rochester Knighthawks 6-4 here through 1 half in the National Lacrosse League Championship. The battle for the NLL Cup continues.
The Creator made the stars with the dreamers in mind.
Step back shot. Oh my goodness!
As we gaze up at the night sky, there's a guiding light, a burning fire.
Wow! Captain America with a rocket!
And when one becomes two, and two becomes a team, true champions are born. Say hello to your true north. A prize worthy for the new era of the National Lacrosse League. Together, we shine on.
If you're a player looking for a lightweight head that delivers power and control, string up the Under Armour Command Low.
My name is Curtis Dixon. I am an offensive player for the Calgary Roughnecks.
Chilion to the bench. Dixon shoots and scores!
As soon as I started using the warp, my game has, been as good, if not even better, than it was before I was using it at the start of the season. You don't lead the league in goal scoring for no reason without having a proper stick and having success with that. So I'm absolutely happy with my performance so far, and I know it's only going to go up from here.
Halftime here in Saskatoon, the Rush with a 6-4 lead. And this is a game that the Rush, they didn't even want to be playing after game one. Their goal, not come back home, but they couldn't take care of business in game two on the road in Rochester. Clearly disappointed post-game, looking almost defeated, but it seems the team still has a lot of belief in themselves, and especially because they're playing in a place they feel very comfortable. Mia Gordon with more. Flipped back, Jackson steps into it and fires home! And a goal on the other end! How's that for momentum?
It wasn't the end to the story the Rush were hoping for when they dropped Game 2 of the NLL Final to the Rochester Knighthawks. But instead, another chapter begins at SaskTel Center for Game 3. And for the first time since the playoff format changed to a best-of-3 series, it will all come down to this do-or-die game. But the Rush now head home and will play this must-win in front of their fans who they have always had a special relationship with. In fact, the last two championships that the team has won has been in front of the home crowd. And even after the teams lost last week, they knew that the familiar territory would be a welcoming advantage for Game 3.
I think going along with what Corb said, it's exciting to get back to Saskatoon. And as Derek said, we have a lot of work to do. Going through a couple mishaps this past game, and it's going to require a full 60 minutes.
We're going to get practice in and get back to our routine and back in front of our home fans, and I think we'll be much better.
And to be able to play it at home with family, friends, and of course the fans that are Rush Nation in the stands, it's a moment like these players live for.
That was sort of the message I said to the guys when I got in the room tonight, was just, we battled all season long. Let's put tonight behind us because we got one game to win a championship, and if you had offered that at the start of the year, I think you guys would have taken it. So we got a fantastic opportunity next Saturday on home floor to it's great. These are the games. This is why you play lacrosse for nights like next Saturday, and I can't wait.
For NLL Productions, I'm Mia Gordon.
In the darkest depths of the ocean, much is still unknown. Much is still left to the imagination. You think you know what awaits in shallower waters. You think you know what lurks near the surface. You think you know, but your reality, your world as you know it, is all about to change.
Last season, we launched NLL TV. It marked the first time that you could catch the fastest game on 2 feet from anywhere.
Thompson backhander scores! Wow!
This season, it's back and better than ever. Just pick your package and you're good to go.
Don't get caught in the dark. Watch the National Lacrosse League live from your laptop, tablet, cell phone, and more. Get all the action, all the time.
Not making the playoffs the last 2 years has been really tough, and the guys that have been here during that are, you know, it was bothering us.
Wow! And if you are the Knighthawks, very disappointing after that great start and the 2 fabulous weeks where you scored 38 goals in the first 2 games.
The Knighthawks have to find some offense.
Truth be told, it looked like Rochester could be out of the playoff picture for a 3rd straight year. Losing 6 in a row from late December to early February left them scratching their heads and feeling powerless.
The thing that stuck with me most was probably after our 6th loss, just like how we felt after that game. And I could tell no one else wanted to feel like that again. And it was kind of down in the dumps. Like, I thought we played well in that Toronto game, and it was just like, what else can we do? That was a bad time for us. We easily could have just packed it in right there. All of us keep saying this is gonna get better, and we got that win in Georgia. You know, pressure was off us, a lot of weight off our shoulders, and you know, we were having fun playing lacrosse again, and that's what the main thing is.
Win or lose, there's always something that you can gain. And head coach Mike Hazen really lobbies that message to this group.
Every year is 18 lessons to get into the playoffs, and we took that stretch of 6 games of losing as lessons. And it wasn't like we got blown out and put our head between our legs and ran away and whimpered, right? We just kept battling, and we weren't that far off each of those losses as well.
The sentiment of struggles making you stronger is common. But Cody Jamieson, do you think that's the case here?
No, I think if we went on that 6-game winning streak or a 5-game winning streak in that, I think we turned out to be the same team. So it would have been a lot easier on the mind and on the body to win a few of those games. But I don't think it changes who we are as a team.
Rochester just 1 win away from hoisting the NLL Cup, and we'll soon find out if the 2018 trials and tribulations they've faced have prepared them for this moment. For NLL Productions, I'm Ashley Docking.
Think you've got what it takes to compete with Curtis Dixon, to shut down Lyle Thompson, and to hang with Tom Schreiber? Show your stuff in front of GMs, coaches, and scouts at the 2018 National Lacrosse League Combine in San Diego on August 11th. This could be your chance to play in the big leagues. NLL Relax, presented by New Balance. The brand new weekly recap show filled with insight.
Their 3 rookies are making significant contributions.
Analysis.
That could change the complete dynamic of the team.
Hot takes. Brutal to start the season. And a little personality.
So glad that you guys could join us on this Monday evening.
Wait. I gotta clear something up here.
Like
what is that?
Ball.
Sure. Drop. Throw it up.
Drop. Ding.
Yeah. Throw the counter
You
up.
tweeted
Throw it
about
up. Thank you. Name drop.
Friend of the program.
Friend of the program.
Yeah.
The star of our show, Pat Gregoire, ladies and gentlemen.
Stop.
You guys got good hair today, I must say.
Just today?
Just today?
You're trying to get the first word too?
You started
Can
with
I
the
do
first
my
word.
job?
Yikes.
Okay, a lot of personality. Don't miss it. Every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern, only on Facebook Watch.
We welcome you back inside the Saskatchewan Center for Game 3, midway through, 30 minutes down, 30 to go. Brian Shanahan, Jay Alter with you, Shanny. It took more than 14 minutes in that first quarter to get our first score. We were told at halftime that's the latest goal that's ever been scored in an NLL championship game. And then once that first one went in, we got 9 in the second quarter, and most of them belonged to the Rush.
Yeah, they scored in the first minute of the second quarter. The Rush went on a 4-goal roll. Looked like they were going to pull away in this game at points, but Rochester wouldn't let them. This is actually the 4th goal of the game, the second transition goal for Saskatchewan, and it's the captain, Corbeil, who scores that one. After that, Rezatera scores a nice goal to make it 4-2. And then on a little bit of a run here, a short-handed goal, huge for Rochester. Shanks puts that one in the back door. But then after that, a rocket shot by Schattler, his second goal of the game, and 6th in the last 2 games. Curtis Knight, who was out of the lineup last week, scores a nice one. And then the captain, or not the captain, the leader, who hasn't really done much, scores a big goal here. A little bit of a weak one for Kirk. And that makes it 6-4. There was another goal by Matthews, but it was called back because he stepped in the crease. So it looked like Saskatchewan was going to run away with this. Rochester hanging in there.
It brings us to 6-4 at halftime. We'll be back. Second half action coming your way in the decider, Game 3 of the 2018 Finals.
The NLL, it's a crazy, intense sport.
Any reason you go to any sporting event, it's in box lacrosse.
When you're out there and you think you're open for a shot and those gaps close in half a second, you get a whole new appreciation for how strong these players are out there.
Never in my life have I walked out to a place sold out, 16,000 fans, where it's loud. There's no other feeling like it in the world.
"30 minutes away from that little Rush fan celebrating, but Saskatchewan's got to keep the lead. It's a 6-4 score midway through this game 3. Brian Shanahan, Jay Alter with you. Couldn't think of a better venue and two more fitting teams in this decade than Saskatchewan and Rochester and here in Canada.
Yeah, and this is a great place for a championship game. 3 years in a row we've been here. And the first year in Saskatoon, I think these fans just got spoiled. It came too easy for them. They won, and I think they thought they were just going to keep winning. Last year was a reality check. Now they expect to win, but I think they're a little nervous about it.
Down on the floor, Darren DuPont checking in with Rochester.
Yeah, thanks, Jay. Joe Resitera standing by. You're down 2 at the half. What adjustments need to be made?
We just got to do what we do best. We know how to play this game. We knew this is going to be a dogfight. We play our game, we're winning this game.
You're trying to win a championship. You've come a long way after a tough start. What would it mean to put it all together in the second half?
We fought through it all year. Adversity is nothing to us. We know what we got to do. We fight through it. We're going to win.
Joe, appreciate this. Good luck.
Line Channy, adversity is nothing to us. A team that lost 6 games in a row during the regular season. They responded, got hot. They're trailing by 2, but they're certainly not out of this game by any stretch.
Yeah, and it's funny because earlier in the season, late in the season, they met the Toronto Rock in pretty much a do-or-die game for both teams. And I was talking to Coach Mike Hazen before the game, and he says, we've been playing do-or-die games since we lost 6 in a row. So this is nothing new to us. So having their backs to the wall, this is a team that I think this year has thrived having their backs to the wall.
Longest face-off between Jake Withers and Jeremy Thompson. It's gone on for now 15 seconds as we are underway in this third quarter. Scooped up by Soroketti, and the Rush get things started with a 2-goal lead. Saskatchewan chasing what would be championship number 3 in the last 4 years. They've made the final each and every year. On the doorstep, denied by Matt Vince. What a great chance for Robert Church, but he could not fire to the back of the net. And if Vince makes stops like that, gives Knighthawks fans a lot of belief in this second half.
And the face-offs were 8 for 13 for Rochester, but a few key wins for the Rush. One led directly to a goal, and that was another win there for Thompson and led to a scoring chance.
8 seconds to shoot. Courier can't get his hands free. Curls around the cage, double teamed, passes out of it, and he's absolutely lit up behind the net. The Rush's physicality has certainly been a difference in this game. Trying to get a goal on the other end. Mark Matthews tried a bouncer. It went wide, picked up by McIntosh, who will reset things with 10 seconds to shoot. That one hit Vince. Rush get it back with a fresh timer. Easy save from Dinsdale.
And I suspect we won't see as many transition opportunities this quarter. One thing is I'm sure Rochester's going to clean it up a bit, but also the way the benches are situated, it's more dangerous in the second and fourth quarter when the offense is at the other team's net.
Jamison had the right angle. It just missed by inches, bouncing wide of the net. Such a dangerous player in big games. He's won 3 cups with Rochester. trailing by 2 as they chase their 4th in this decade. Curtis Knight, that one another comfortable save for Vince. Knight scored earlier in this game after being a healthy scratch in game 2. It's funny, Shanny, this third quarter starting very similar to the first quarter. Both teams taking shots, but they've all been very comfortable for both goalies.
Yeah, so far.
Here's Courier. Over to Kyle Jackson. Looking for Jamison, who had plenty of real estate in front of him. Couldn't get the pass, and a shot clock violation.
Nice give and go play. It almost looked like Jamison just took his eyes off the ball for a second. And so far, the teams have offered very little in terms of transition in this half. Not in the last half.
The third quarter has been the crucial quarter in the first 2 games. As the ball is loose, the Rush gets it back. Shanny, both games were pretty tight in the first half, game 1 and 2. Both the home teams opened it up and really got that big lead in quarter number 3. Saskatchewan would like to continue that trend.
2 weeks ago, the Rush scored 4 goals to start the second half to extend a 3-goal run to a 7-goal run.
Jamison again, he misses to the left, keeps sending it wide. Beautiful pass, but no goal. Matt Vince goes low to deny from point-blank range.
Well, a 3-on-2 transition opportunity.
And a goal on the other end. Evan Kirk got a piece of it, but it doesn't matter. Josh Courier has fired Rochester back within 1.
And this is a weak goal. Vince makes the save down on one end in the 3-on-2. Courier takes the outside shot. Kirk's got to have that. And you got to think that there are some question marks. You don't want to get it into your head that is our goalie going to let in some shots like that, because that's a big play, both ends of the floor. And the fans, I've said it a few times, are a little nervous.
These fans did not want a game 3. They wanted this series done and dusted in Rochester a week ago. The Knighthawks stunned them. Convincing win in upstate New York, 13-8. Almost tied at 6 off the pipe from Kyle Jackson.
Tricky play by Jackson, a bit of a twister on that shot to change the angle of delivery, and it fooled Kirk, but it hit the post.
It was Courier who delivered a game-high 4 goals a week ago. He notches another to pull Rochester within 1. Almost had the equalizer. Jamison fires a bullet. It takes a long rebound, and the Rush are on the run. Messenger drives. Denied. Once again, Matt Vince got a piece of it, enough to keep it out of the net. Another look for Saskatchewan. Vince springs to action, claims the ball, and starts the transition for Rochester. Knighthawks gaining momentum in this third quarter on the road.
And if I'm the Knighthawks, I'm taking some outside shots. I'm thinking if this guy's a little nervous, if Kirk's a little nervous, you want to test him now.
Courier again charges in. Never really found his footing on that shot.
That Courier is always dangerous. I'm impressed with his game this weekend, last week.
Certainly the hot hand for this Rochester team. Saskatchewan looking for their first goal of this third quarter, clinging to a 1-goal lead at home in a game series deciding game 3. And a goal! And guess who? Jeff Shatler with a hat trick to put the Rush back up by 2.
Not too different from his last goal. He just gets a step and decides to blast the shot. And this veteran has come to play the last 2 weeks. And just when they needed one. And I've said it earlier, but Schattler has been the best player for this team over the last 2 weeks.
Sometimes it takes a veteran in a tight game like this to be fearless. Schattler has provided that. In year number 13, he already has won one NLL championship, looking for number 2 tonight. He has 3 out of the Rush's 7 goals. Face-off win for Rochester. Here's Austin Shanks. Hesitation, finally shot, comfortable save.
Shanks doesn't like that shot.
Jeff Cornwall slows it down, gets it to Schattler.
Oh my.
Off the pipe.
Oh, Schattler again.
Wow, Schattler. Somebody on Rochester's got to get a body in front of Jeff Schattler. That time Robert Church right into the chest of Matt Vince. And we stop play with 8 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Jeff Schattler, the story. He's got 3 goals. Saskatchewan up by 2 midway through the third.
The NLL, it's a crazy, intense sport.
Any reason you go to any sporting event, it's in box lacrosse.
When you're out there and you think you're open for a shot and those gaps close in half a second, you get a whole new appreciation for how strong these players are out there.
Never in my life have I walked out to a place sold out, 16,000 fans, where it's loud. There's no other feeling like it in the world.
Well, so far in this second half, it didn't take 14 minutes for a goal, but it did take 4 minutes. And it could have been the Rush scoring the first goal, but a big save and a 3-on-2 by Vince. The ball comes up the floor, passes off to Courier, takes an outside shot, and suddenly we're 6-5. And the fans in this rink are nervous until Schattler, who has played great over the last 2 weeks, scores his 3rd of the game. He had 4 last week to provide a little bit of a cushion, but nothing to make you comfortable.
Let's head down to the floor with Darren Dupont.
Yeah, guys, for the Rochester Knighthawks, their slow start to the season, the talk around the team was that they had lost their swagger. But as they start to turn it around and moving towards the playoffs, 11-3 down the stretch, they hand the Rush 3 of their 5 losses on the season. They start to get that swagger back, and a big reason, 2 rookies, Jake Withers and Austin Shanks. Withers leading the NLL playoffs with 65 face-off wins coming into tonight. Austin Shanks now leading the team, 9 goals. Those 2 leading the way, the next generation of Rochester Knighthawks, guys.
Thanks, Darren. And those 2, along with Rochester rookie Eric Fennell, they were in the championship game a year ago. Back to that story in a second. How about Cody Jamieson right out of the timeout? Winds back and fires a bullet to the back of the net.
Well, just too much space given to Cody Jamieson, and he's going to make the most of it. Defender is down, so they're essentially an odd man. It's a 2-on-1. Watch him look off the pass. That gives him a little bit more room. Steps into the shot. And their leader has scored 2 big goals.
And Shanny, he's taken that same shot a couple of times tonight. That's the first one he's buried in spectacular fashion, and we are back within 1. Withers, another face-off win, and Rochester can equalize on this possession.
And those outside shots have been a bit of a killer for Kirk.
And here's Austin Shanks.
Shanks taking a couple of shots that he's got nothing on. He got, you know, that was a very weak shot, and his last one, he took a shot like that. He was shaking his head at himself.
Home crowd coming alive here in Saskatoon, cheering on their rush. Error there. McIntosh gave it away. It's a 1-on-3, no good numbers. Misguided shot.
Yeah, not a good shot by Gillies, but you know, possibly in his defense, he was so crowded. I think if he didn't take that shot, 3 guys were about to corner him.
And nobody was helping him. Help was not on the way there. Swim dodge, lowering the shoulder on Withers. Shatler behind the back, no good. Rebound goes to the Rush. 8 to shoot. Curtis Knight has to hurry. Poked loose, 3 seconds, no angle, bouncer, and a shot clock violation.
Yeah, Knight was just hoping to get that on net to possibly get a strange rebound and get a reset for his team. It didn't happen.
Here's Kyle Jackson as a couple of beautiful passes today. Almost an opportunity there for a goal, but Evan Kirk went low to deny. Shanks again.
That's a pretty good save by Kirk.
Here's Ryan Keenan. Rush. Denied.
Oh, and
in the crease as well.
A defensive mistake, though, by Rochester, and Vince bailed them, to use your word from last week.
You can't say it enough about Matt Vince. He does just bail this team out when they need it most. Takeaway. And another clean hit. And Rochester's got it back with Courier, and a goal! We're tied at 7. Josh Courier with a hat trick, turning defense into offense here in Saskatoon.
Unbelievable. Great second effort by the Knighthawks. The ball is stolen from them. They go back to steal it back, and how many times have we seen Kirk with the half a step on a defender? He loves to take that dive, and he puts it in. We're all tied up.
5:33 remaining in this third quarter. Josh Courier, he's got 7 goals in the last 2 games. The biggest 2 games of Rochester's season, and the Knighthawks. Second-year player, Courier has been outstanding on the offensive end.
And you can't fault Evan Kirk on that one.
Jamison muscling his way through a double team, goes low, and another goal! Rochester pouring it on in this third quarter, and the Knighthawks have taken another lead.
And how many times have we said that Cody Jamison is a money player? I can't believe they're giving a penalty on this play. In the celebration, I think it was Eric Fennell ran over the Saskatchewan player, but here you see the goal. Jamison on Rubish, too, one of the best defenders, goes wide, somehow squeezes that in. But the Rush are getting a bit of a break, because in the celebration there, well, you're going to see, yeah, that's a good call. Originally I thought it was a little bit chintzy, but you know, Fennell grabbed him by the helmet. I'm sure the strap was on loose.
The last time Rochester led, Shanny, it was 1-0. Cody Jamison gives them back the lead. 8-7 Knighthawks. It's a power play for the Rush.
And a huge power play. The Rush have struggled on the power play in the playoffs. They were fantastic in the regular season. And in this game, just on their one power play, they allowed a big shorthanded goal by Austin Shanks.
3 straight goals for the Knighthawks has given them a lead, and those 3 goals all came in a 2-minute span. Momentum with Rochester. Will the power play change that? That is the question. Already 30 seconds into it. 3 seconds to shoot.
Well, you know that Rochester is going to try to take some shots, try to go for the short-handed opportunities. They're sensing a little bit of nervousness in Evan Kirk.
They've got one shorthanded goal today. We'll step aside. Rochester has stormed in front of this third quarter. Drama in game 3. Stick with us.
He's got Digby on the take, scores!
Now back over to Dane Smith with a shot. Hit the goal post inside, he scores!
Afraid you might miss out on the big stories from your favorite team? Well, not to fear, the NLL newsletter is here. All you have to do is subscribe to the new NLL newsletter, and you'll get weekly updates from everything that is happening around the league. What are you waiting for? Subscribe today.
Well, we've talked many times about this team thrives on having their backs against the wall. A few times in this game, it's looked like the Rush were going to pull away. They didn't let it happen, and they've been rewarded with 3 quick goals in this second half, and their leader, Cody Jamieson, gets one here. Unfortunately for the Rush, the defender fell down. Here's a steal. Courier goes to the net, scores one, and then Jamieson, shortly after that, on Kyle Rubish, one of the best defenders in the NLL, takes it to the net. I still think that's a save that Kirk has to make. It might sound like I'm picking on him, but there's been a few goals that Rochester has scored that he's got to make the stops. But we've gone to a power play for Saskatchewan, and here's their chance to tie it up.
A minute and 24 seconds left on the Rush power play. Trailing by 1, 4:38 remaining in this third quarter. Quick passing. Hossick's there. Graham Hossick suffocating Schattler on the doorstep. And Rochester, a crucial turnover to try and kill off this extra man opportunity. Double team. Magnan lost it. And with a minute left on this power play, the Rush get the ball back, trailing by a goal.
Well, usually we see it's guys like Rubish and Corbeil that are stealing the ball back. That time it's Mark Matthews doing a great job defensively to get the ball back on a power play for his team.
Robert Church has been quiet. I'll tell you who's not quiet, this crowd. And you know who it is again? Jeff Schattler, goal number 4, and we're tied at 8 after the Rush cash in on the power play.
Well, power play goal. Watch how open Schattler is. The ball goes over. A late rotation by Ian Lord. And Schattler has lots of time. A couple of fakes, and he puts it on the far side.
Climb the wall, you deserve it, Jeff Schattler. He has half of Saskatchewan's goals tonight.
Well, last week he had 7 out of 8 points. This week, or 7 out of 9 goals. We had that goal with a second to go in the game. And this week, 4 out of 8 goals.
And for Rochester, they're scoring 8 goals. 3 have been Cody Jamieson. 3 have been Josh Courier. Transition, Corbeil one-on-one with Vince. A goal! Captain Fantastic, Chris Corbeil has fired the Rush in front.
A perfect shot by the captain, and the transition is a killer in this game. Vince is ready. Plays the angle. That shot goes in off the post. Great diving effort by the Rochester defender, but Corbeil for the second time has shown his great offensive abilities on the transition.
And we'll mention that buzzword again, momentum. Rochester had it in this third quarter. They go up a goal after Cody Jamieson's goal. But Shanny, they took a ill-advised penalty. How about this? 4 Rush jerseys converging. A turnover in this building. The roof is coming off. All the momentum with Saskatchewan right now. Shot deflected, scooped up by Rochester. Let's see if the Knighthawks can get a goal in transition. Dawson slows things down, gets it to Austin Shanks. Shanks, great hesitation, the feed, and it's saved! Second effort, no goal, they wave it off.
Well, I'd love to see a replay of that. That was a great effort, and I'm sure Hazen would like to see a replay to decide whether to throw the flag or not.
The flag's
And
on the field from Hazen. Rochester and Mike Hazen, they won their first challenge to wave off a Mark Matthews goal. Now they'd like to tie this at 9.
Watching this live, I thought it was good, but we'll see if somebody is in the crease when the shot goes in. Now, if
out of the crease there.
If he gets out of the crease, okay, that replay doesn't show much. Okay, first shot, the save.
He's out of the
away.
crease.
I think that's a good. I think that was a good goal. The question is, doesn't matter where the net is. When the net moves,
it's the white line that you're looking at.
It's the referee has to imagine where the net would be. So if it crosses that plane, where the plane would be when the net was in its proper position, that's what he's watching. The only thing I can think here is it's possible the ball didn't cross that plane before the hand touches the floor. Let's watch here. I'm trying to look at 3 places at once. I'm watching Vitarelli and I'm watching the ball. It's possible the ball actually didn't go.
No, it did not.
And I think that's what the referee's argument will be. But I don't know about that, though. I'm not really sure how that works, because the only reason it doesn't cross the line is because the mesh stopped it. And if the mesh is out, a foot, so these refs are going to have a good conversation about this. And we do have some of the best NLL referees in charge. These guys did the game last week. They were called back. And just like the players, like the referees that make it to the finals, that's giving them a tip of the cap that, you guys are the ones we view to be the best.
Here's another look. It's the second effort after the Kirk save.
Now, unless the referee, I think that goal's got to count. I really do. Unless the referee is saying that ball would have gone wide if the net wasn't moved.
What's confusing is that the ball was in the net, but would it have crossed the line or even been in the net?
Yeah, so it doesn't matter where the net is after it's moved. The referee, so if that net's knocked right over behind 5 feet away, if the ball crosses the plane where the net should be, a goal would count.
Here's my take, Shanny. We'll never know, so how can you overrule it with indisputable evidence? Because the call on the floor was no goal. So did you see something indisputable? The ball is in the net. We know that.
I think what the referee could say is, did the ball cross the plane? Now, my argument, though, is the ball would have crossed the plane if there wasn't a mesh a foot out of position to stop it.
Right.
But then I guess the question is, did it cross the plane, or would it have crossed the plane before he touched? I think this is a tough call. This is one of the toughest ones I've seen.
And it's such a crucial one. Every goal is crucial in a Game 3 and an NLL championship, and we are getting our call right now.
The ball never crossed the goal line. We got no goal.
Oh, the fans here agree with it.
No goal, so it stays at 9-8 Rush advantage. Saskatchewan will have the ball as well. In a third quarter where Rochester stormed in front with 3 goals, the Rush respond with 2, 1 on the power play. It's been a tight game throughout, as it should be. That is what Game 3 in this sport is all about. The 2 best teams in the league. And we've got 2:27 left of this third quarter. And only 1 goal separates the home team Rush from the visiting Rochester Knighthawks. Here's McIntosh. Great feed to Dinsdale behind the back, and a goal!
Just perfectly placed off the post, off Vince's back, and into the net. Edmonton Rush in 2015 with a minute left in that game just gets a big goal here, but I still got a feeling we got a lot more goals coming.
Under 2 minutes of this third quarter, the Matthew Dinsdale goal has given Saskatchewan a 2-goal lead. Here's Cody Jamieson, already with 3 goals today, 3 of Rochester's 8. Courier's got the other 3. They were looking for Austin Shanks. The pass went to nobody. Shot clock violation. Rush get it back. 1:36 left in this third quarter.
I thought Eric Fennell was going to step into a big outside shot on that last possession. I was surprised he passed it off.
This crowd has found its juice. A 2-goal lead for the home team Rush. Keenan took a deflection on the shot. Scrambled for it. And Rochester's got it. Nobody in front of Brad Gillies. Nice change by Saskatchewan. They got out there in the transition to shut Gillies down.
Yeah, this time Gillies wisely passes the ball off to the offense.
Courier tries a long shot, went wide of the net. Back to the Rush, under a minute to go in this third quarter. Jeff Shatler. He's been scoring from range today. That one did not fool Matt Vince. Long outlet pass.
Now, he took the early shot of the possession to make sure Rochester didn't get the ball with less than 30. So now Rochester can't pull their goalie here.
15 seconds on the shot clock, 28 on the third quarter clock, and a turnover. And now Saskatchewan could pull their goalie if they'd like. And they do. Evan Kirk comes out of his net. 15 seconds left, and it's a 6-on-5, and the ball's in the hands of Jeff Shatler, who's got 4 goals today. Mark Matthews looks at the time. 5 seconds left to Shatler, deflected, and that'll do it for this third quarter. The Rush here at home in Saskatchewan take a 2-goal lead into the final 15 minutes of regulation.
Pretty exciting quarter, though. Each team went on a 3-goal run. It's going to be a great fourth.
The first game 3 in the NLL championship reaches the fourth quarter. 10-8 Rush lead over the Knighthawks. And Shanny, as we enter the fourth quarter, we want to remind the folks, this is where players can step up and make championship performances in the finals that last a lifetime.
Yep, and 2000, rookie Caleb Toth with 1 second to go. The last professional game played at Maple Leaf Gardens, wins that one 14-13 for the Toronto Rock. And you know what's cool about this? Watch the bench. The Toronto Rock bench for Derek Keenan with a head full of dark hair.
There he is on the left.
Very good.
Wow.
And then this was just a couple of years ago. A big moment for the Rush as Jeff Cornwall gets a breakaway, 12 seconds to go in the game to win their championship, and that's the feeling these guys want again today.
15 minutes away from it if they can keep the lead. Let's go down in between the benches with Darren DuPont.
Yeah, guys, well, even more special tonight because after 31 years, a new trophy for the National Lacrosse League. It was 1987, the Baltimore Thunder won what was then, and up until last year, the Champions Cup. But this year, it's called the National Lacrosse League Cup. It'll be awarded for the first time tonight, and it's been called a prize worthy of the new era of the National Lacrosse League. We've seen it, it's beautiful, and we're 1 quarter away from seeing it for real.
We've seen it from a distance. Some people are going to get to see it up close today.
Will it be Rochester? Will it be Saskatchewan? The Rush take a 2-goal lead into this final quarter of regulation. Rochester starts with the ball, and they hand it off to Joe Resiteris.
It's been a big few days for championships. The Stanley Cup a couple of nights ago.
Yeah, the Capitals winning their first in franchise history. Last night in the NBA, the Warriors winning 3 and 4. Saskatchewan would like to join them and win 3 and 4 as we've crowned 3 North American champions in 3 straight nights. It's what sports is all about. There's nothing quite like watching teams celebrate a championship, Shanny.
Oh, yeah.
3 purple jerseys surrounding McIntosh. 10 to shoot. Great pass. Almost a goal that whizzes wide of the net.
Excellent chance for Keenan. He wants to have that one back. Just shot wide.
Dawson slows things down. And that came to nothing. A good chance for Rochester in transition to open this fourth quarter. Didn't even get a shot off.
Yeah, a bit of a sloppy play. The pass was a little bit off. The catch wasn't there.
Here's Ryan Keenan passing off. Great right down Broadway, but no goal. Mark Matthews never got a clean look at it. Almost too much speed, and the shot clock expires. Ball back to Rochester, 13:32 to play. 2-goal deficit for the Knighthawks.
There's been a couple of penalties against the Knighthawks. You got to think that the referee's going to be watching for something that the Rush will do.
Here's Kyle Jackson. Wide open. No good! In between the post and Captain Kirk. And somehow the Rush goalkeeper kept it out, Evan Kirk.
Well, Vitarelli dove across but tried to go short side, and it just never did open up.
The drama builds 2 minutes in. McIntosh jumping into the crease. Got it to the back of the net in time. He just went airborne. And a goal for Ben McIntosh.
He sure did. Watch. I believe he catches the defender going for the stick check. Yes, it was. And once that was rookie Eric Schula went for the stick. And once that happens, it gives McIntosh the room to come across.
And Shanny, did that look like a good goal to you? It's so tough. Did his
I thought
touch?
it would, but you know what? No flag was thrown, so we're not going to re-examine that one.
It's a good goal for Ben McIntosh. 3-goal Rush lead here at home in a series deciding Game 3 in the 2018 NLL Finals. 3 goals in the road in this building is a tall task. Eric Fennell cuts into it. What a response from Eric Fennell and this Knighthawks offense.
Similar to the Cody Jamieson goal we saw. Jamieson's first goal when it looked like the Rush were pulling away. This is not a dangerous spot to shoot from, but Fennell reaches around and kind of floats it past Kirk. And again, reason to keep the fans from celebrating too much.
Right.
They feel it, but a little bit unsure.
Jake Withers wins the faceoff. Rochester can build momentum at the start of this fourth quarter. The life has been sucked out of the Sasktel Center. There's some life right back into it. A double team. Graham Hosick lost the ball. It scoots back to Scott Campbell. 10 seconds to shoot for the Knighthawks. They've got to move quickly on this possession.
Sloppy
Courier, what a bounce! And it leads to a goal! 2 goals in 35 seconds for Rochester, and just like that, they're back within one.
That was mistake after mistake by Rochester, and they scored a goal. A bounce off the boards, and sloppiness by Jeremy Thompson. Courier gets it, dives across, and what looked like a bit of a comfortable lead. There is no comfortable lead in this game. It looked like the Rush were pulling away, and all of a sudden these 2 quick goals, and it's a different atmosphere again.
4th goal tonight, 8th goal in the last 2 weeks. Josh Courier has pulled Rochester back within one on the road. A perfect bounce, perfect positioning, and with 2 seconds left on the shot clock, a goal.
And it looked like they were just throwing the ball away, Rochester.
Courier passes it off. Jackson has a step in the crease. Rush has the ball back. Saskatchewan now trying to fight off a Rochester 4th quarter flurry. Bouncer, no good. And it goes back to Rochester on another crease violation.
And that, the last Rochester player was slow to get on the floor for defense, and the Rush took advantage of it. They turned that into an odd man situation and weren't able to put it in though.
Here's Cody Jamieson. Off the pipe. It might have bounced off twice. Inches away from tying this game. The Rush throw it away and Rochester reloads.
Now you watch late on the shot clock, Rochester's trying to get their offense off to make sure they're not giving away that fast break opportunity to Matthews off the bench.
Fed up to Thompson. Here's that fast break opportunity you were talking about. Pass to Matthews, deflected, did not get there. Mad Vince comfortably holds.
And that was a lucky bounce, but a great defender. Hosick got his stick in the way, and what did I say a while ago about next penalty might go to the Rush?
Nailed it, Shanny. Rochester with a 6-on-5 delayed penalty coming. Mad Vince has been pulled. 5 seconds to shoot. Jackson goes low, stopped by Evan Kirk, and we'll get our penalty with 10:06 remaining in this 4th quarter.
And this time the Rush got called on a bad change. Too many men on the floor.
So Shanny, an opportunity for Rochester to tie this game on the power play after trailing by 3 goals just a few minutes ago.
Well, after Rochester took their first lead since early in the game, since the game opened up, they took a penalty. Saskatchewan cashed.
Up against the boards, battle for the loose ball. It's won by the Rush. 1:40 left on the power play. Saskatchewan's going to take all 30 seconds off this shot clock, you imagine.
Oh, they'll take it to the net. They got guys out here who like to go for the shorthanded opportunities. They'll try to eat up most of this, but you watch when we get down to, we're 7 seconds now. He'll take it to the net.
Here's Robert Church, met by a double team. 1 second left, fires it right at the net. Graham Hossack gets the ball into an attacking area for Rochester. 1 minute remaining on the power play. Knighthawks trying to tie this series-deciding Game 3 at 11.
Watch for Cody Jamieson to take the shot from the high shot from the point of the power play.
They feed Jamieson. Hesitates. Stepped into it. And it belongs to Evan Kirk. 40 seconds left on the power play. 25 seconds on the shot clock. With every second that comes off the clock, the drama builds in the Saskatoon Center. Low shot, met by Matt Vince, and will step aside. Midway through this fourth quarter, 12 seconds left on the power play. Rochester has the ball, trailing by a goal. You can feel the drama in Game 3 here in Saskatoon.
Show your stuff in front of GMs, coaches, and scouts at the 2018 National Lacrosse League Combine in San Diego on August 11th. This could be your chance to play in the big leagues.
Back here in the Saskatoon Center, where 13,645 fans have packed Game 3 in the 2018 NLL Finals. The crowd has been raucous, Shanny, and boy, is the game delivered. 11-10, the home team Rush leads, but we've had a lot of drama in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, Cody Jamieson driving to the net.
Double post.
That was a double post shot. Jamieson, who's got a hat trick, almost got his fourth. I didn't realize how close that shot was till there.
Down to Darren Dupont quickly.
Yeah, guys. Well, for the Thompsons, championship has been in the blood. And for Jerome Sr., he's been hosting the Champions Cup for the last 3 years. 3 of his sons winning with the Georgia Swarm. Last year, of course, Jeremy Thompson, twice with the Rush. Now they have an opportunity to keep it, but he's going to be passing the torch to Brad Hossack, the father of Matt and Graham Hossack, on opposite sides of the championship final tonight. A strong tradition of championship families in the National Lacrosse League will continue here in Saskatoon, guys.
Thanks, Darren. Yeah, pair of brothers facing off in this matchup. You talk about family in this sport, Shanny. All about it.
Yeah, not the first time that's happened in the NLL. We got the Hossacks. We had the Thompsons playing each other last year and a few years before that.
Cody Jamieson unleashes a bullet right into the chest of Evan Kirk.
And the Rush had some players. I think it was Dinsdale, came out of the penalty box, was wide open, and Kirk didn't realize it.
He didn't save the shot cleanly. It was into the chest and then the stick. Made for a untimely transition. 3 seconds to shoot. Vince got a piece of it, so the shot clock resets. Saskatchewan battling for the loose ball. Messenger almost came up with it. Frank Brown trying to hunt it down. Saskatchewan's got it back with Messenger. 7:18 remaining and a 1-goal lead. Boy, Shanny, we don't have to tell people anymore. You can just tell by the way these guys are playing. Winner of this game is the champion, Curtis Knight. A healthy scratch a week ago. Now he could be the hero in Game 3.
And you knew we weren't going to say his name after a goal without mentioning he was a healthy scratch last week. Got one in the second quarter, and here in the fourth quarter, a big goal to stretch the lead to 2, which we know is not safe the way this is going. And Curtis Knight, he might be down a little bit in the depth chart offensively on this team, but this kid is a superstar. And Derek Keenan knows that very well.
Saskatchewan looking for another off the face-off win. Jeff Cornwall didn't handle it cleanly. And it'll be circled back out with 15 seconds to shoot. Here's Matthew Dinsdale. Finds Keenan. Vince did well to get there. Resets the shot clock, another 30. 6:33 remaining in this fourth quarter. They go to Keenan again, and this time Ryan Keenan scores!
The key to this goal is as soon as Keenan catches it, he shoots. Vince has to be moving. He's taking the angle away from McIntosh. He comes over. The second it's in Keenan's stick, it's a shot on net. Sometimes it's not all about how hard or how great the shot is, but more importantly, how quick the shot comes.
Second goal tonight for the second-year player. A lot of his teammates have experienced a championship in this league. He got there a year after their repeat back-to-back, looking to experience his first. Withers won the face-off, wrestled to the ground, finds Austin Shanks. Rookies trying to combine, the shot was deflected. 13 seconds on the shot clock. Jamieson trying to get Rochester back into this game, an errant pass and right into the stick of Evan Kirk.
You know, 5 minutes to go. Saskatchewan's going to try to control this ball. They're going to try to use up the time, but they can't stop the offense.
Risky pass looking for Robert Church inside. Church is actually yet to score tonight. He had 4 goals in game 1's been quiet. Curtis Knight, bouncer no good. Rochester starting to get into hurry mode, trailing by 3, 5:20 remaining in regulation.
And you've got to watch to see if they decide at any point early to pull Vince to go for the surprise 6 and 5.
Here's Kyle Jackson, 10 seconds to shoot. Weaves between 2 Rush players, and a save, Evan Kirk. Digging it out of his shirt after that save. 5 minutes remaining and a 3-goal lead for the Rush as they close in on 3 NLL championships in 4 years. That pass behind Matthews. Double team coming. Keenan fires it. Vince made the comfortable save. Rochester comes up with the ball with Withers.
Vince looking over at the bench to decide whether they're considering it.
Beginning to get to that time. It's not there yet. Here's Austin Shanks. Puts it on net. Saved again by Evan Kirk.
And it looks like Evan Kirk is making the saves he needs to make now.
4 minutes remaining. The Rush fans in the SaskTel Center can feel it. Their team needs to hold on to this lead. Controlling the clock very well in the last few minutes. Bouncer and a goal! Matthew Saskatchewan Center.
And I believe that's the first time in this game the lead has been stretched to 4. And with under 4 minutes to go, I think these fans are going to start celebrating. Dinsdale, his second goal of the game. We saw the beautiful behind the back goal earlier. This time, good ball movement, the good shot.
Clutch player, Dinsdale had the game winner in 2015 for the Rush. Scores again to make it a 4-goal lead. It would take a heroic effort now on the road for Rochester. Shanks, good look, sent it wide. Here's Cody Jamieson. Vince is being pulled from the net, but he runs right back into it after Kirk scooped up the ball. Vince didn't even make it to the bench. Rochester's got to go into desperation mode, down 4 with 3:13 remaining.
Yeah, and they almost have to go out and chase the ball now. They can't afford to let Saskatchewan hold on to it for 30 seconds.
Here's McIntosh, 8 seconds to shoot. Sends it wide.
Watch Vince
Shot
will be
clock
coming right away.
violation, and Vince runs off. Rochester going for a 6-on-5 after this timeout. Rush fans can feel it. You hear that roar. A 4-goal lead as time is winding down.
Think you've got what it takes to compete with Curtis Dixon, to shut down Lyle Thompson, and to hang with Tom Schreiber? Show your stuff in front of GMs, coaches, and scouts at the 2018 National Lacrosse League Combine in Dallas, Texas on July 8th. This could be your chance to play in the big leagues.
Rush fans are beginning to celebrate. A few minutes left, 14-10, a 4-goal lead for the home team, Saskatchewan. And let's go in between the benches with Darren Dupont.
Hey, thanks, Jay. What an atmosphere down here. You know, I had a chance to talk to both teams before the game. I talked to Mike Hazen and asked him, how do you recreate the magic you had at home on the road? And he wasn't sure. Well, they figured it out. They've had a heck of a performance after what a turnaround to their season. I talked to Jimmy Quinlan from the Saskatchewan Rush, and he told me, he said, we switched places. We did what they did in Game 1 and Game 2 and vice versa. I just hope we get a really good Game 3. Well, guys, we've had a tremendous Game 3, and I feel like we're not over yet.
All right, thank you, Darren. Brian Shanahan, Jay Alter with you for the final 2:52 of regulation. Rochester has pulled goalie Matt Vince. It's a 6-on-5, and the Knighthawks need a goal, trailing by 4.
And it has been a great game, but if Rochester wants to stay in it, they got to score and score quick.
After the missed shot, Vince trying to hustle back. Corbeil into the net!
Well, that goal started with Captain Chris Corbeil bobbling the ball. And he probably remembers that from last year, and that was a bad feeling, but he recovers and deciding whether to run it down or to shoot for the empty net. And he decides a 5-goal cushion is better than a 4-goal cushion, and he drills it into the empty net.
A 5-goal lead. Saskatchewan has scored the last 4 goals of this fourth quarter. closing in on another National Lacrosse League championship. Rochester trying to deliver a final punch back in this game. Jackson went low, net still empty. The Rush can tack more on. Here's Thompson. Vince gets back into net. Clock continues to just run down. We have reached 2 minutes remaining in this game 3, series deciding game in the 2018 finals. Great opportunity up to Paul Dawson. Denied! Evan Kirk says no from point blank range. Rochester reloads another 6-on-5.
Well, I've questioned Kirk many times in this series, and in this fourth quarter, he's been at his best.
Into the side netting. 15-10, 1:20 remaining. We want the cup being chanted in the Saskatchewan Center. They're a minute and 10 seconds away from getting the cup. Mark Matthews scurrying around the Rochester defense. He has 7 assists tonight.
8.
Now 8.
8, yeah.
It was even for a lot of this game, but the fourth quarter belonged to Saskatchewan. Another save by Evan Kirk.
At this point, Kirk is just making a point to guys like me. Great fourth quarter.
Another takeaway from Rochester. Another save from Evan Kirk. The shot clock is off. 5 seconds and 4. And that'll do it. Saskatchewan, champions again. It's 3 NLL championships in 4 years for Derek Keenan and this Rush team. A dynasty, certainly, and a fourth quarter deserved of the 2018 championship.
Yeah, it sure was. We got the game we were looking for, but it was 4 straight goals by the Rush. And that fourth quarter that gave them the victory in a game that was back and forth all game long. Both teams were deserving, but you're right. This team is a dynasty, 3 out of 4 years. And they'd like to think last year was just a blip and they want to do it again next year.
Let's go down to Darren Toubont with Jeff Shatler, who had 4 goals tonight.
Yeah, Jay, thank you. Jeff, you won one in Calgary. What does it feel like to win one here in Saskatoon?
This feeling, I've been waiting for this feeling for a while. And these guys, I love every one of them, man. I'm glad it came. We worked our bags off for this, and we fucking deserve it.
This was a game 3. Unlike the first 2, it was a battle. At what point did you feel it start to swing in your favor?
I never did, not till the game is over. It's a game of lacrosse, game of swings. You can score goals, 3 goals in a minute, but we played well, and we deserved it in front of our greatest crowd out there.
This team has been all about spreading the wealth on offense and everybody contributing. Tonight you had 4 goals. What is it that makes this group so special?
You can't stop just one of us. You stop one of us, the other 4 are going to score on that floor. We're a great team, and there's no I in the team, and we're a family out there, and we deserve this win.
As you guys started to pull away in the fourth quarter, how much did this building kind of push you guys towards this championship?
I love playing in front of this crowd. You guys are the best in the league. You guys are awesome. All I can hear you guys is screaming. I love you guys.
Congratulations, Jeff. Jay, Channing?
And Shan, it can't be overstated. 3 championships in 4 years. That is so tough to do in this competitive league.
Yeah, you know, this was a team that was on the mission all year. After losing last year, they felt that was taken away from them, the championship that they feel they deserve. They came out from the start of the season, were the most dominant team in the NLL. And, you know, they went through a lot, you know, the Humboldt tragedy not far from here, and that affected this team, it affected the community, and they were on a mission for many reasons, and they got what they wanted.
And an effort well done by the Rochester Knighthawks. They took this Saskatchewan team to Game 3. They gave them everything they could handle. They will leave Saskatoon with their heads held very high.
You know, and I love the handshake. You see these guys battle so hard. There's no friends out there during the game, but when it's over, there's a lot of respect. And there's a couple of brothers there. I give it a little bit of an extra hug with the Hossucks there.
And this fan base, from the first face-off of the first game of the season, Shanny, brought it all year long, as they always do, and now getting to join in the celebration with this Rush team.
And I kind of think it's good for this fan base that they didn't win last year, because they would be spoiled if they had. And you could see it in this game, throughout this game. The fans would get loud and excited, and then all of a sudden the nerves would hit, and they'll say, hey, it might not go our way. It doesn't always go our way. But they've been provided with some great entertainment by this great lacrosse team that, you know, Derek Keenan has put together.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention.
And here comes the NLL Cup. Head to our PA announcer, Mike McGuire.
And Commissioner Nick Sakewicz.
Good evening, Rush Nation, and good evening to all those tuning in on Twitter, CBS Live, and on NLL TV. It is my honor to be joined here by Commissioner Nick Sakevich, who will be presenting the first ever NLL Cup to the Saskatchewan Rush. But first, we must award the NLL MVP of the finals to number 77, Jeff Schottler. And now the moment you've all been waiting for, the awarding of the first ever NLL Cup. But first, Commissioner Nick Sakevich would like to say a couple of words about the Rochester Knighthawks.
Thank you, Tyson. What a game, what a crowd, what great fans. Congratulations to all of you. I want to congratulate the Rochester Knighthawks, Kurt Stiers, their owner. Great season. Congratulations on a fantastic year. This is the first time in league history the series went all the way to 3 games. 2 of the best teams in the league. And I am very proud to present the 2018 NLL Finals Championship Trophy to the Saskatchewan Rush.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us for tonight's broadcast. Your champions, the Saskatchewan Rush.
Shanny, you work all year. It comes to a game 3 for the first time, and in front of your home fans, you get to do that. Does it get any better in professional sports?
Yeah, you know, you got to love, you said earlier, you love the celebration almost as much as the game. You know, seeing these guys pick up that trophy and hold it, that's fantastic. And I love the MVP pick. We've been touting him all game. Schottler, this game, last game has been fantastic. Can you believe Robert Church never got a point tonight and his team won 15-10? That just shows you the depth of this Saskatchewan team.
A well-deserved championship. Even the Hulk down with the NLL championship cap on. The confetti continues to rain down here in the Sasktel Center. A few fans have made their way for the exits, but most have stayed in to watch this celebration.
And you got to love, about 5 years ago, this province didn't have a professional lacrosse team. And look at them now, they're loving the Grandma Rush. Well, probably the #1 fan out there. But right now, they're in love with this team. You saw it when we landed in the airport. Like, all over the airport, right. It's the Rush. And, you know, hotels, the restaurants, everybody's talking about them. Next year, we're going to have San Diego, Philadelphia. I love where this league is going. And I love that a community can fall in love with this game like we have.
And now Darren DuPont with head coach Derek Keenan.
I had to wait because the wife was first, right? In a moment like this?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, we worked so hard all year, and it wasn't easy, which makes it even sweeter. They battled us right to the end. Obviously played really well last week in Rochester, and we came back here, and we felt good about our opportunity here at home. We certainly took advantage of it, but it was a grinder of a game. There was some ups and downs and a lot of sort of runs each way, and but at the end, I think we had a little bit more gas in the tank, and the ball started to drop a little bit more, and we got our transition game going. And at the end of the day, I really believe we earned this. We were focused from the first day of training camp this year on winning this championship, and you know, it's mission accomplished. Really proud of the guys.
Evan Kirk had some ups and downs in this series, but have you seen him play better than the fourth quarter when with so much on the line?
He was great. I mean, even late when, you know, we kind of turned the ball over a little bit, you know, he still made saves right to the end, and he left it all out here. He's tired, he's exhausted, he's dehydrated, but he played hard right to the end, and you know, both teams did. I give them credit. I think they were a pretty banged up team, and to push us as far as they did, that's a heck of a team over there as well.
Yeah, for all the success you've had, that's one team that's given you some adversity, but you keep saying that the way you guys are able to spread the offense around and not just lean on one guy. Robert Church didn't find the back of the net, but somebody else stepped up. That guy was Jeff Schattler.
You know, obviously, you look at our last two games, Mark didn't score, I don't think. Our last two, Robert didn't score tonight, but we got 15. So that's, Jeff Schattler was outstanding the entire playoffs. Marty Dinsdale stepped up tonight. Curtis Knight stepped up tonight. You know, and we just got contributions right across the board. And we worked harder on offense tonight. We got to the middle of the floor. That's where we want to play. And we got open a lot. We ran by people, and we had success. And for a while there, it looked like another one of those Vino nights, and you're kind of going, whoa, boy. But then they started to drop for us.
In the second quarter, you told me when I said your 13th championship, it wouldn't matter if you didn't win, but you did. It's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I didn't even know that statistic until Brian Shanahan told me yesterday. So, yeah, I mean, it's good to be here and to make it to one. And last year we made it and we lost, and that's a major disappointment. And that's why our guys have been focused since training camp in November to get back and win this.
Coach, congratulations. Enjoy the moment.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Head coach Derek Keenan. We've got more. Jay and Shani are upstairs, down here on the floor as you're watching the National Lacrosse League Championship in the NLL Cup.
In the darkest depths of the ocean, much is still unknown. Much is still left to the imagination. You think you know what awaits in shallower waters. You think you know what lurks near the surface. You think you know, but your reality, your world as you know it, is all about to change.
He's got Digby on the take, scores. Now back over to Dave
We
Smith
welcome
with
you
a
back
shot.
inside the Saskatchewan Center. The Rush have completed their third NLL championship in the last 4 years, a 15-10 final. Brian Shanahan, Jay Alter with you. And Shanny, just trying to get some final thoughts on what has been a terrific season and a well-deserved championship here in Saskatoon.
Well, first of all, that wasn't a 15-10 game. I know that was the final score, but that was a much closer game. A number of times it looked like the Rush were going to pull away, but there was no quit in Rochester.
Let's go down to Darren DuPont, who's with the captain, Chris Corbeil.
Chris, the net's empty. You bobbled it for a second, but what are you feeling when it finally goes in?
To be honest, I knew there was still time on the clock. And I know with this Rochester team, anything's possible. So I thought, okay, this is good. I grabbed a hold of Rubes because like he's been doing all year. He's been getting me the ball in transition. And I said, dude, I almost dropped that. He goes, I know. It was a bit of relief, but until the buzzer went, I knew we had nothing locked up. But just an incredible feeling, so many emotions, especially after the way last season ended, but I really couldn't be happier.
How much were you guys thinking about the sour taste you had in your mouth last year and, wanting to exercise those demons?
It's tough. You want to try and stay positive. Jimmy Quinlan preached to me early on this year. It's important to be just thinking positively, and I try and implement that into my leadership as best I can. But, on a personal level, it's something that would haunt me, just even at practice when we were working on that stuff. It can't help but bring up tough memories from last year. So this is huge. This is huge for me.
3 and 4 years finally, before I let you go. What does it take to really put that all together?
Oh man, it takes a very smart general manager with an amazing eye for talent and management of your personnel and building for the future while making sure you have the people on board to get the job done. It takes a fantastic world-class coaching staff. It takes not just a great group of lacrosse players, it takes a great group of people. And we're the perfect combination of all that.
Congratulations. Enjoy the moment, Chris.
Thank you very much. I will.
All right, there's the captain, Chris Corbeil. Amazing down here on the floor as we throw it back upstairs. Jay and Shanny, guys.
Thanks, Darren and Shanny. It's tough for Chris Corbeil because a year ago in this same game, in this same situation, he was the GOAT. Today, he puts the finishing touch off in this victory, and you know what? Good for him. He can talk about it too.
No one took that loss last year harder than Chris Corbeil, so it's great for them to come back. Now it's just more of a distant memory. They're the champs again, and he was a big part of it. All game, scored some big goals, but a great team effort, great leadership by him, a great team effort all around.
You mentioned the leadership, the captain. It's poetic justice. He gets to put the nail in the Rochester coffin. The Knighthawks, a great battle. Anybody's game in this Game 3 series deciding game in the fourth quarter, but Saskatchewan showed why they're the best team in the league late.
Yeah, you know what? It was a 1-goal game with about 8 minutes to go. They went on that last run, and there wasn't enough time for Rochester. If there was another period, we might be going into overtime, but the Rush, give them credit. They did it. They did what they had to do, and they got the win for these fans again.
I know Shanny, he wasn't rooting for either team. He was rooting for overtime.
Yeah.
He said in the beginning, we didn't get overtime, but we got a terrific way to end the 2017-2018 NLL season. A 15-10 victory for the home team, Saskatchewan Rush. Oh man, wrapping it up for the final time. 15-10, your final score. Congratulations again to Saskatchewan, the 2018 NLL champions. It's 3 and 4 years for the Rush. A reminder, current subscribers, you gotta visit NLL.com, renew your subscription. You don't wanna miss 2 expansion teams coming in 24/7, access to all the games. Visit NLLTV.com and save 30%. For Brian Shanahan, Darren DuPont in between the benches, Tyson Geik, I'm Jay Alter, and a special thanks to executive producer Joe Feld, our terrific crew all season long, but especially today in Saskatoon. Thanks for joining us all season on NLL TV and Twitter. You have been watching the National Lacrosse League on NLL TV.